emblematic of the way she and other Democrat politicians in Minnesota have behaved over the past decade or so. They're very political. They just are pandering to political constituencies, and they're not doing the job that they were elected to do. The feeding our future fraud, there were warning signs, but the administration, Peggy Flanagan, Tim Walz, did not investigate. They did not do their duty out of concern that they would offend a political constituency. So they haven't done anything to take responsibility for what the public expects them to do. So yes, she should apologize. She certainly should not be sent to Washington to oversee federal dollars being spent. But it's emblematic of the way Democrats have governed in this state. They like to posture. They like to tell people how compassionate they are. They tell us our high taxes are helping people, but they really haven't demonstrated a concern for helping people. They're more interested in just spending money. They have taken no responsibility. They have yet neither she nor Governor Walz has ever said that they had any responsibility to make sure that the laws got administered effectively. And that's their job. That's what they were elected to do. They need to apologize to the people of Minnesota for their failure, and they need to get out of politics. They can't be trusted to be supervising the expenditures of public dollars when they behave this way. It's very political. It's part of, I think, an operation that they have of trying to spend public money and convince us that they're being compassionate, and they're simply buying votes. The Somali voting bloc is significant in the Minneapolis area, of course, and they're concerned about that. And yes, I've seen those reports as well, that there were concerns about how this would appear. Most of the fraud was conducted by Somalis who put up these shell companies and looted the public treasury. And I think the Democrats were concerned that if they went after that they would appear to be picking on the Somali community when, in fact, they needed to enforce the law. And I think every community wants to see the laws enforced, and people in Minnesota want to see the laws enforced. And this is why this is so terrible. They are just failing to do the duty that they were elected to do. Clear to me that new leadership needs to be put in place in Minnesota. And one of the reasons that I'm running for U.S. Senate is to try to bring new leadership to Washington. We need to take a hard look at these welfare programs and how they're administered. I don't think Angie Craig has been doing her job of overseeing how these monies are spent. And they're certainly in Minnesota, the governor and Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan have not done their job of making sure that those public dollars are spent effectively. So I don't think that the people of Minnesota can afford to send these radical Democrats to Washington or keep them in office here in Minnesota. Well, I think we need to have more safeguards. That is true. But I think we should also be looking at how can we reform the whole welfare establishment? Are there better ways to help people? We should be more concerned about trying to make sure people's lives are improved rather than just spending money. And it seems to me that the Walz administration has been focused on just handing out money. Democrats in Washington just hand out the money and no accountability and no attempt to figure out the effectiveness of the programs that we have. We need to take a hard look at that. I think it's emblematic of the way Democrats have behaved. They want to posture in front of cameras and tell people how compassionate they are, but they don't want to do the work of the public, which is to make sure that the laws get executed faithfully and take responsibility for their actions when it doesn't happen. And so she has been completely silent, as has Governor Walz. To me, that's a clear signal these people should not be in public office.